Today, I want to share the step-by-step process that I go through when hiring and onboarding developers for my AI automation agency and how I managed to automate a bulk of the hiring process. Now, this system is designed to save hours when hiring developers and most importantly, ensuring that you find good quality people to come on your team. Now, if you're running a AAA business and you have customers coming in, you'd understand how important developers are. Essentially, without them, you can't build your products, which means you kind of can't run your AAA business, which means acquiring the skill for both recruiting and onboarding developers could not be a more crucial factor when it comes to succeeding in growing your AI automation agency. In fact, I'd consider it probably the most important skill to learn after marketing and sales. So stick around until the end of this video and you'll understand my whole process when it comes to onboarding and hiring developers. And most importantly, ensuring they get the job done correctly and stay around for the long run. Truthfully, implementing this system has kind of changed my life. Over the past 5 years, I've made well over 100 hires and I've spent countless hours in the hiring process. I've lost a lot of money and time from all the mistakes I've made when hiring, to the point where I seriously considered stopping my pursuit for entrepreneurship and building businesses because I just couldn't trust anyone to do anything. And I wasn't alone in feeling this way. All of my friends that have businesses that are actually pretty successful were experiencing the same thing. Every time I talk to them about hiring their employees and asking them how their workers are going, they just roll their eyes and it looked like they had just given up on humanity's ability to do things. So as you can imagine, it felt really frustrating. Now I'm going through this, everyone else going through this. People that have got multi-million dollar businesses are complaining about their employees, are complaining that they can't trust anyone to do things well. And to be honest with you, I kind of bought into this belief system for a long time and it started to really drag me down. However, there was a moment that changed everything. I watched a video of Alex Hormozi talking about recruiting and the hiring process, and there were two things he said that really struck a chord with me. The first thing he said was, you have to look at employees in your hiring process the same way you look at marketing and onboarding customers. When it comes to marketing, you have to understand your exact target audience. You have to understand the messaging around that. You got to create a landing page. Maybe you pay for some ads. Maybe you do direct outreach. There's a million ways to market your business and acquire customers. And also, once you've acquired them, there's a whole process for onboarding the customer. You got to educate them on the product. You got to have good customer service, so on and so on. So the hiring process is the exact same as the customer onboarding process. Now, the first point was more of a tactical thing that you can implement within your business. And the second one was more of a personal thing. He mentioned the type of talent you attract are as good as you. So that means if I'm not at a certain level, I can't attract a certain level of talent, which means for me to build a big business, I need good talent. And for me to attract that talent, I need to improve on myself, which is why personal development and entrepreneurship come hand in hand. And you got to constantly improve yourself as a human, whether you're improving your technical skills, your leadership skills, your personality, your characteristic traits. All of these aspects impact your ability to attract good quality talent. Now, really internalizing these 2 points changed everything for me. It took the power away from blaming others and it gave me control of the situation. I control who I hire. I control how I hire them. So I'm in control of the whole onboarding process. So that means if I hire a specific person and they're not good, that's my fault. That's my problem. The same way, if I don't have a proper marketing system and sales system implemented, I won't be able to acquire customers. I won't be able to keep customers around. So that's my problem. I can't blame the customers for not wanting to do business with me. It's all about the value I provide. The same way marketing and sales is in my control, onboarding employees and developers is also something that I can fully control. Now, the first time I tried to implement this system was for my video editor. So the system I created works with any type of recruitment you're doing, not just developers. Now, I've had my editor for over a year. He's been amazing, doesn't give me headaches. When I give him a task to do, he does it. Every single morning he rocks up and tells me what he's doing for the day. And at the end, he gives me a review of what he's done throughout the day. So this is a proven system that works in any industry, no matter what you're hiring for. Okay, that being said, let's get into it. Now, before I show you the automation, I want to explain in detail every step of the process that I go through when it comes to interviewing, recruiting, and finding the best developers or anyone to hire for that matter. So whenever you're hiring, just like marketing, you have 2 options. You can go inbound and you can go outbound. Inbound is when people are approaching you and applying to work at your company, and outbound is when you reach out to someone to work for your company. So let's first cover my whole inbound system that I've created. So when it comes to inbound, I like to put a job posting. You can put a job posting on Upwork, LinkedIn, Seek, anywhere. Even Discord communities. There are many places you can put a job posting, or even your social media, or just tell people you know. So that's how the inbound works. So I'd put out a job post and get people to apply. So here is exactly how I'd format a particular job post. So first, I'll write what I'm looking for. So if you're looking for a developer to build out software, also I'm looking for a developer to build this type of software, and I'll give more details on what type of thing I'm looking at, right? Doesn't have to be too long, a couple sentences max. So after that, I'll put what we expect from you if you're going to come and work at our company. Then from there, I'd list all your responsibilities. You don't have to put too much emphasis and detail into this. You just put literally some dot points. I'll show you on the screen how it looks. But you put some dot points on what your responsibilities are, what we expect. I've also mentioned the essential skills that you need to have for this particular job and what we're looking for. And then after that, I'll follow up with desirable skills. You don't have to have these skills, but if you have them, it's even better. So with the above, they have a great understanding of what they're dealing with. You've got what you're looking for, what we expect, your responsibilities, essential skills, desirable skills. So they'll be able to get an understanding of whether they're actually a good fit for the company or not. You can also include your company's values and a bunch of things in there. You don't want to make this too long. You want to make it enough information to grab their attention and make them interested. After I've given them some context on the type of person we're looking for, and the skills required and what their job would look like on a day-to-day basis, then I'll give them direct instructions on the application process and what to do moving forward. The more direct you can be, the better. And also something I like to add at the end of every application process is an instruction to add like a little keyword. Maybe it could be cuckoo or woo or whatever type of keyword you want to put in there, mainly so that you understand they've read the whole job posting and they're not just applying to a million jobs. You don't want to get someone that just applied to a bunch of jobs and hoping for the best. You want someone that's taken the time to read the whole thing and can follow instructions. So that's why I like to add that little thing at the end. I'll tell them to put that at the start of the application. That way, if I've had 60 people apply, maybe 20 of them have that, and I just ignore everyone else. They kind of follow a simple instruction and read the whole job posting. I don't really want that. Just this one little thing saves you a lot of time. It's all about narrowing down who you're looking for and finding them as quick as possible. I like to drive from that job posting to a landing page. The same way when you do a marketing, you get a client to go from the ad to a landing page. I drive them from the job posting to a landing page. On that landing page, what are they going to find? They're going to find a video of me holding my phone like that, unscripted, unedited. That video is going to follow a particular format. So I'll start with introducing myself. Hey, my name's Moody. I'm the founder of this company. And after that, I'll explain what we do at our company. I'm an AI automation agency company, or I'm a mobile developer company, or I'm a software developer company, or an AI developer company, whatever you want to name it. Then after you do that, you give even more detail on what their role would be in the company, right? And how their day-to-day activity will look like. Doesn't have to be too long. This whole video needs to be like 2 or 3 minutes, max 4 minutes. You also want to show them the growth opportunity in your company. People that are highly skilled and talented, they want to make sure they can grow. They're not too concerned about money. They want to make sure they can grow both intellectually, mentally, and also monetarily, right? They want to see that there's opportunity to grow within a company. They want to work for something bigger than them. They want to make an impact on society. They want to use their talents and their skills to make an impact in the world. So you got to show them that. You got to explain that to them. What I also like to do is mention that it's a long-term relationship. So you're showing them that they're working for something big. You show them that there's stability in this role, or there's stability in working with you, and there's a lot of opportunity as well working with you or working in your company, either as a subcontractor, as a full-time developer, however you decide to get them on board. This process is the same for all of them. Whether you're hiring a subcontractor or a full-time worker, I'll go through the same process. And after you give them all that context on your situation and what the job is like, and they get a good feel of who you are and what the company looks like, what I like to do is ask them to make a very similar video that's unscripted, unedited, and just raw footage of them. You get a few minutes of raw footage of them. You see how they are, how they talk, how they carry themselves about, how they answer questions. What I like to do is ask specific and targeted questions. Questions like, what would you be a good fit for the company? Also, if you're looking to create a mobile app, have you created any app similar to what we've created? Have you done anything similar to what our goals, company's goals and aspirations are? So if I'm looking for a developer to create a mobile app for me, like I created in my previous videos, I'll ask them, give me an example of a time that you're working on a mobile app and you encountered a tough scenario and how you overcame that situation. You ask for particular details and examples of a certain situation, because if they genuinely have experience in the skill that you're looking for, in this case a mobile app, they'll be able to tell you so many stories of issues they came into and things that went wrong in the development process. And you'll be able to also understand how they unpack, how they solve issues, how they work through tough times. Because when it comes to development, you're going to get many tough times. Even just normal business, there's going to be a lot of tough times. You want to make sure you have the right people on your team. You're getting insight to how they think and how they pivot when they're challenged. And also another example of a question I'd like to ask you is, what tools do you find most effective and what do you use them for? So when I create this video, you're looking for a few things. You're looking for the personality. You're seeing if how they talk, how they carry themselves about is a good match for your company. You're learning their attention to detail and their ability to answer questions. So you want to make sure they answer each and every question that you ask them within the video. you're looking at how attentive they are. It really cuts down the time from meeting each and every single one of them, spending half an hour on a meeting getting to know them. You spend a couple of minutes and you understand whether you want this person or not almost immediately. My editor that I got right now, on paper, with his credentials, he didn't seem like the perfect fit. But as soon as I saw his video, I was like, yep, this guy's the one. He's very attentive. He understands what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and he's really good at communicating any issues he has. Those are the main things that I'm looking for, and that's why I've kept him for over a year. Okay, now you would find that through each stage of this journey, you're going to have more and more people drop off. Just like a marketing funnel, every time a customer goes through each stage of that funnel, you have people drop off. It's the same thing with recruitment. What we're doing now is we're getting hyper-focused on the type of person we want. If they are willing to go through the whole process of making a video, doing a practice assignment, and many other things, it means they're committed. It means they really want a job and they're willing to work hard no matter what. That's valuable. That's what I'm looking for. In the early days of building a business, it's very important you have people that are willing to work hard, that are willing to put in the long hours, and are hungry for success. Okay, now that I have a good feel of what type of person I'm dealing with, I'll analyze the previous work and see how similar that is to the project that I'm working on. So if I'm working on a mobile app for trucking companies like I did in my previous video, what I'm looking for is they have experience in building apps with logistic companies, because there's a lot of similarities within the logistics industry, and if they can build one type of app, that means they can definitely build another. Now, let's say I've reviewed the video, I like what I see, and I've also reviewed the previous and past experience and their projects, and I like what I see there. Then we take them onto the meeting phase. Usually people just quickly have a meeting. I make them go through the whole process of showing me their previous work, creating a video for me before having a meeting. That means I have way less meetings than required. I take them onto a meeting phase. In this meeting, it's going to be just a normal conversation. I want to get to know who they are, their experience, and a bit more in-depth than the video. I want to see how they are in person. I want to see how they are when I ask them a question, how they respond immediately. Because with the video, they have time to plan out the video. With this, it's like I ask them a question and they respond. So it's very similar to what I'm looking for in a video. However, it's much more in-depth. Now, let's say they've passed those two phases, the video and the meeting phase, and I still like what I see. I'm very interested in this person. What I'll do then is I'm not going to immediately hire them. I'm going to give them a practice assignment. What does that mean? I'll give them a small task to do, nothing crazy, something that'll take maybe a few hours. I want to see how they work. I want to see the quality of the work they produce. Many people can be good in meetings, can be good on paper, but when it comes to work, they can be lazy, they can be sloppy, they can be unprofessional. So I want to make sure that what we're doing now is I've got a good understanding of their personality, their track record, and now I want to have a look at how they actually operate when they're given an assignment. Now, the task that I'm going to give them isn't too big. It's going to be a small task, like something as simple as create this feature within the mobile app. If they've got experience in creating mobile apps, it won't take long for them at all. And once they create that feature, I'm going to give them a little bit of feedback to see how they respond to that feedback. So what I'm looking for is how attentive they are. With developing, you constantly go back and forth with the customer and iterating on a product. So making sure that they listen to feedback and implement what you've asked them to implement is crucial. So I'll give them an assignment, a task. Once they give it back to me, I'll give a bit of feedback and see if they follow through on the instructions that I've given them. Now, let's say they've done this assignment and I like the way they work and I'm ready to hire them. What I'll do is I'll hire 2 people for the exact same role. For 1 week, I'll have 2 people within the exact same role. That means, yes, you're going to pay them both for a week. What you're going to do here is you're going to compare them against each other. You'll tell them, I want to onboard you for a trial period of 1 week. You're giving both these people the exact same task to complete. They don't know that they've both been hired for the same role. They don't know that they're competing. They think they just got the job. So they're going to work under the impression that they've secured the job. I did this with my video editor. I actually hired 3 of them at the exact same time for a whole week. And the one I've got now, the one that's making these amazing videos for you guys, blew them out of the park. So it's important. So had I not done that, I don't know what isn't good within the video editing industry. Same thing with the development. I'll hire both of them and I'll see how they both operate, how they both communicate, how fast they both execute, and I'll compare them against each other. Then by the end of the week, I'll select one of them that's performed better. I'll pay the other one for 1 week's worth of work, and I'll keep the one that I've decided to go ahead with and hire full-time. Now, that is the general overview process of exactly how I hire, my system and my processes for hiring. Now, that's a whole inbound system. When it comes to outbound, instead of putting a job post, I'll make a list of 50 perfect candidates for the particular job. I'll reach out to them individually. I'll basically say, hey, it's Moody from Integrate. I run this type of company and I got this position open. Are you interested? And then if they respond with yes, I'll go through the exact same process I just walked you through with the video, the meeting, and the assignment. So the only difference between inbound and outbound is with the inbound system, I'm putting a job post out. With the outbound system, I'm finding the perfect candidates individually and I'm reaching out to them. Usually by the end of it, you have about 5 people you have a meeting with, and then you will hire about 2 or 3 of them at the same time. You go from 50 to 5 once you're at the end of the process. But you have 5 targeted people for the role that you're looking for, and hopefully they're perfect for your company. Now, that being said, let's go through the actual automation. I want to share my screen for a second. Here's the process I go through. Here's how I manage the whole thing. Once I go to the landing page and they fill out the form and they submit the video, they automatically show up in this Kanban view over here, where it shows video plus form submitted, and it creates a whole profile just for them. So if I click here, it has a whole profile just for this particular person. Now, these are my applicants. These are just dummy applicants from the Notion system. However, this is how it's set out. Once you have the profile, it shows you the role they've applied for, whether you're looking for a designer, a front-end engineer, back-end engineer, VP of marketing. It has the email. Obviously, they fill that out in the form. Their location, the skills, what stage they're at in the process, their website. Maybe they have a website where they show their previous work. It's again an attachment where they can show their resume, where they can show you previous projects they've worked on. They can also add the video in there, right, as an attachment. This is all this information gets extracted from the form. And then obviously I can add any other properties that I want in here, according to however I want to customize it. Notion is a very great platform to use. Obviously, I want to have any notes on that particular person, right? And I can review the video and keep all my notes here. So that once I click this profile, everything here comes up. So that's very handy. And let's say I've reviewed the video and I don't like what I see, or this person doesn't make it to the next stage. I'll come in and I'll move it to this column over here, rejected. Now, once I remove it to the rejected column, what happens is I've already pre-made a template with a rejection letter. As soon as I put it into this rejection column, it will automatically send them an email informing them that they haven't made it to the next stage, and we really appreciate their effort. Now, let's say they have made it to the next phase. What I'll do is I'll move Andy to the meeting stage. Once they move to the meeting stage, it will automatically send them an email informing them that we reviewed the video, we really like what we see, and then moved on to the next stage of the hiring process, which is a meeting stage. And in that email, I've also got a Calendly link that I can click on to book the next meeting. Let's say I've had the meeting with Andy and I like what I see. I want to move Andy on to the next stage of the hiring process after the meeting. What I'll do is I'll simply remove Andy from meeting to assignment. And you guessed it, it'll automatically send them an email with the assignment and the deadline and all the information they need to know. Once Andy has submitted the assignment, I'll then take him on to the feedback phase, right? After the feedback phase, we analyze everything between all the candidates, right? We'll analyze the meeting, the video, the assignment, and we compare them against each other. The ones that we like and we want them to go ahead and we want to make them an offer. Let's say Andy's one of the top performers and we like him and we want to make him an offer. What I'll do is simply move you from here to here. It will automatically send them an email with the offer for the job. Remember how I told you we'll hire 2 or 3 people for 1 week? Let's say Andy over here has a look at the offer and he's excited and he wants to start. All I have to do is move him from offer to hired, and then the whole onboarding process begins. And that is how I recruit and find the best talent possible. Let me know if you want me to make a full in-depth video showing you how I created the whole automation for the applicant process. That's enough for this video. Make sure you subscribe. Over and out.